WGN's network president. He said they wanted to find little-known stories. What did you guys kind of know about the Appalachian region before you came into this, and how did some of that research inform the characters you guys eventually ended up playing?
Well, your experience is unique coming from Australia and not knowing much of.
Yeah, a whole kind of, collection of stereotypes, really, like just the kind of, the obvious examples of Beverly Hillbillies and Deliverance, and, those kind of two poles are the obvious representations of the play. So, kind of funny yokels or really violent, scary yokels, with inbreeding and all of that sort of stuff,
Yep.
So I suppose you come to it with very, simplistic kind of ideas of what it is, and then you start to dig, start to try to find something a bit more complex.
Yeah, and it's I think for many people who are not living there, it's a world it's really easy to make judgments about because of the stereotypes about it, and that's one of the things we are trying not to do is make judgments about it and find something a little more unique and truthful about it.
Mm-hmm. And I think the identity of the Farrells is something that's a step removed as well from that. Obviously, it's not like we're saying there's a group of people down there who are exactly like the Farrells who are doing what they're doing.
Right.
There's a heightened aspect to that part of the story. Like a distillation of a group of ideas around that place.
Yep.
And then the story that we're dealing with down in the town is a little bit more like a realistic kind of telling of, or an attempt at that.
Mm-hmm. Well, as we talked about off camera, just being removed from technology, did that kind of help you a little bit get into this role a little more? And for you, I don't know if you're into all this technology, internet, that type of stuff, but is it something you have to kind of separate yourself from and get in this mindset to come and play these characters?
Well, I don't know. Me, that's my own thing about the whole new social media world. It's just it just blows right by my head. It means almost nothing to me. I'm not sure that's helpful in doing. This guy Big Foster lives up on top of the mountain, and part of this clan has been around for 200 years and living off the grid, and that's pretty extreme.
I found a good sense of humour in it. I enjoyed playing a character who was kind of willfully ignorant of that sort of stuff and who had nothing to do with his day-to-day life, that you could kind of bring a sense of irony to it. There's a great sense of humour in this show too about that sort of stuff as well, I think.
So this is the age of the anti-hero on television, the last 2 decades. Do you see Big Foster as this anti-hero that people are going to start rooting for or pulling for, or is he really going to kind of turn, I know you can't give away spoilers, but be one of the antagonists of the show?
I cannot predict how people will respond to Big Foster. I can tell you that he started out just as just a bad guy, and we've tried to root him in something. One of the things in the story is this world on top of the mountain is the coal companies are trying to take it over, and Big Foster is one of the only people who really understands the danger that our world, our community, our way of life, that danger that we are in, and that's what roots everything that he does. And if there's any sort of anti-hero feeling, he really is truly fighting against something and for something in a very vivid way.
But nothing in this series is really black and white. Even the coal company you can look at and say, oh, look at the viciousness of what they do. I mean, it's such an offensive concept. Everybody can understand it when you just say it. Mountaintop removal, coal mining. It's like, that's a pretty offensive idea to a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds, whether you're very religious and you believe that God created the earth, that would be, a really offensive thing to do, or if you're an environmentalist, or, even just there's something terrible about it. But even the coal company in this series isn't allowed to be just completely bad. And nor is it in Appalachia. It's very complex. People down there, that's the source of their employment, It's the source that's the reason that the communities still exist in some places, for better or worse.
Well, it's an interesting thing. I mean, with the show being titled Outsiders, it's kind of who really is the outsider. To us, the people in town are the outsiders in our